Remember dark Rapidash? Well, this bass is pretty dark. And if we turn up the LFO, then it's also going to get pretty rapid. Ash. That was a terrible, terrible joke. I'm very sorry. Today we're going to look at this other Serum patch from our new preset pack, the link for which is down below. And this is the Graveyard Reese, and it's very, very nice textured Reese. It reminds me a bit of kind of Eat Brain Jade Mindscape kind of sound, but that wasn't intentional. If we just go into the starting point, which is the oscillator A, to turn off all the effects here. Now we have this kind of wavetable which already has this kind of Reese character to it. We just cycle through the waveform here on the LFO1 on this very, very slow ramping up. Got a bit of unison in the sound already, and what we're going to do to start to really increase the bass in the sound is we're going to add in a kind of sine wave. This is a sine wave from the Virus, which is just a little bit of a twist on a normal sine wave. And what's important that we do is we pitch this an octave lower than the actual kind of mid bass here. You know, because if it's at the same octave, we don't quite get that sort of doubling effect of having a real fat low end and a nice kind of growly mid bass area. So I wanted to take this one down 2 octaves. And then we simply just add in a bit of frequency modulation, so the sine wave is going into the Reese, and that really gets this kind of nice growling kind of low end into the sound. Then I've actually just gone on to add an extra sub here. We have a little bit of noise we can play with here, and this has got some panning on at a really, really high rate, as you can see here. Now the next thing I want to do to start getting the movement into the Reese is to add a filter. So all we've got here is a low pass filter with quite a bit of drive, nicely shaped quarter note LFO. It really takes a lot of frequencies out of the sound, so we're going to add these back in again by throwing on this extra filter here, which has a lot of drive, a resonance, really boosting the mid-range around here. You can see this is kind of moving on this slower LFO, this LFO2. We've got this kind of chugging 1/4 note LFO rhythm on the main filter on the effects here, and then on our kind of oscillator filter we have a slower kind of movement, so the bass kind of changes a little bit over time. If we go on and add some extra effects, a touch of chorus, a very small amount of gain in the high end on the EQ here, and then the compressor, which really starts to bring out that extra high end we kind of originally filtered out on the multiband mode here. That's where the sound starts to really come into its own at this point. A little bit of distortion on the end just to tie everything together on the tube mode here. You can see I've got a little bit of filter movement going on here on the LFO2 as well. So that kind of wraps up this patch. That's the Graveyard Reese, and you can really play with the rate here as well, which gives quite nice changes. Yeah, we have a nice squelchy kind of growling mid-bass sound. Without any processing, it already sounds great, so just slap on a few kilohertz plugins or whatever your favorite kind of post-processing plugins are on top of this. I'll be back with one more Serum tutorial tomorrow, and then I'm off to Munich for the weekend. After that, we'll probably come back and do some Vital anyway. Hope you guys have a wicked day.